The cloud.
I think it said it was recording.
Oh, it did? Hey, how are you, Amelia? Nice to see you.
Same here.
I haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
I'm just going to smile.
Oh, good. I love your smile.
Oh, Lord.
Oh yeah, we got some great folks on the call today. Yay, this is awesome. Oh my goodness, Hanita. I've not seen Hanita in a while. What's up, Hanita Dillon? All right, we are okay. Cool. All right, well, people are still kind of coming in here. I'm going to, let's see. I got a note here. Okay, got a note taker. Good. Right. Let's see. New message. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, I didn't finish putting your name in. All right, I think it's a couple minutes past here. Claire, can you hear me? I see you're on mute.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm gonna set it up so you can share your screen. Is it letting you do that? Let's see. All participants. There we go. Okay. All right. I think people are gonna kind of come and go, Claire, just so you know.
Okay.
A lot of folks are in the emergency department, so they're in and out. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm recording this and I'll send it out to folks and I'll put it up on our YouTube channel. So if anyone misses any piece of this, they can check in later and see what they missed. And yeah, I'm super excited to introduce Claire Cobran, who is the person on the other end of RecoverWell. When you submit a patient through RecoverWell, Claire is reviewing it and helping make the decision if the patient is the right fit for the program. So without much further ado, Claire, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Claire. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the clinician here at American Indian Changing Spirits. I have been here since March of this year, so I'm relatively new. We've had a little bit of a shift. The program director here, who was here for a couple years, was promoted. So still all in the family, but still some folks adjusting to new roles. So I won't be able to give you the full history, but I do know quite a bit about our wonderful program. So we are a residential program in Long Beach. We're native based. And I know folks here are already familiar with land acknowledgement. So I'm going to share a quote about acknowledging the land from one of our elders who passed away last year. We acknowledge that the land on which we are gathered here today is the home and traditional land belonging to the Tongva Nation. Today we come with respect and gratitude for the Tongva people who still consider themselves the caretakers of this land. It is through their examples that we are reminded of our greater responsibility to take care of Mother Earth and to take care of each other. And that's from Jimmy Castillo, or as we called him, Uncle Jimmy, who was really important as one of our spiritual leaders here. So the reason I have this photo on this page is actually the sweat lodge we use is the Turtle Lodge, which is native to the Tongva people. So there's a correlation there, but we are on Tongva land here in Long Beach. For those of you who are familiar, we're inside Century Villages at Cabrillo. So kind of right before Long Beach turns into like the Wilmington area, things like that. We've been here since 2000. The program has evolved quite a bit. This is a photo back from a while ago when it was a men's only program. So this used to be a much smaller program treating only men, and we've come a long way since then. So I want to share a little bit about our program. Like I said, we're a residential drug and alcohol treatment program. We are a Native American based program. So we are, we build to drug Medi-Cal. We follow all SAPC compliance. We also, though, have a more holistic and native approach to substance use treatment. So what that means is we try to honor and integrate those traditional practices, ceremonies, things like that, to make sure that our clients feel connected to their heritage. And ultimately, what happens is clients kind of either reconnect to their heritage, or, our spiritual leaders are wonderful. They're not saying because you're not Native, you shouldn't connect to this, right? If it helps them heal from addiction, then we're happy to share it with them. We have some really wonderful people here, but we have a really active alumni community, which is why I wanted to show this. We have sweat lodges every other week. So our alumni come back every other week and join us for the sweat lodges, as well as lots of other activities. So it's really nice. We get to see our old clients literally like every other week, which is really special. We have here just some photos of our counseling team. I did not ask for their permission, so please don't tell them. But we have a really wonderful and diverse counseling team here. And then my favorite person here is Nolan. He is our resident tortoise. He is 7 years old. He weighs 45 pounds. So picture like, I like to compare him to like my English bulldog. He really is like the size and like stature and just kind of whatever. He's like a dog. He comes up to you. We feed him. He lives here. He's our guy. He's gonna outlive all of us, and this is his program. And this is part of reconnecting with nature as well, right? Where one of the chores that clients get assigned is to feed Nolan. And they're able to look after an animal and just show care for something else that really does not require too much from them. So we love that. We love him. He's kind of our little, mascot. I want to share a little bit more about who our clients are. We treat adults, so 18 and over. We got like an 18-year-old, and it's pretty rare that happens, but so we really do 18 and up. We do treat individuals with co-occurring disorders. We treat all genders, right? All ethnicities and races. We kind of, I guess, we're proud to say that we're LGBTQ affirming and led by LGBTQ folks. And we will always, do our very best to honor safety and inclusivity in this capacity. I'm aware of the other places that you can go in LA County with drug Medi-Cal, and a lot of them aren't safe for many different types of people. We are a really small program, and we have the luxury of being able to provide more direct training to staff and provide more trauma-informed care in that way. We do also work with folks who are court mandated or under supervision, DCFS involved. Most of our clients, I would say, are unhoused. So we're definitely not turning people away for any of these reasons. Our vision really is to kind of like complement the structure of traditional treatment, right? Drug and alcohol education. We do individual counseling. They do life skills groups, relapse prevention, discharge planning, 12-step, all of that stuff. And we kind of like to balance it out with the more cultural stuff. So talking circles. You can kind of see in the back of this photo, we have this circle of benches here. And that's our talking circle. And a lot of groups are held in the talking circle. There are specific cultural rules that apply to it. So folks are learning about a culture that, you know, where we're respecting one another, where we're sharing space, where we're following, you know, these like ancient like rules and practices. We, like I said, we do our sweat lodge every other week. It's something I don't, if you're not already familiar, a sweat lodge is we have a structure, and this looks different in like many different tribes. So we practice the Tongva way, which, like I said, is the turtle lodge. We have a structure made out of tree branches, and it becomes covered in canvas tarps. I don't have a lot of pictures of it because there are a lot of rules around photos of ceremony. And so I kind of snuck in that one because it was used in an article a long time ago. But so the sweat lodge becomes covered in canvas tarps. We have 2 fire pits. One, they're heating up the stones in a fire, and then the other one inside of the actual structure, they're bringing over the hot stones, and it's creating that hot sweat lodge inside the canvas tent. So clients go in rounds, and they're chanting, they're singing, we have the spiritual leaders speaking with them and guiding them. And it's a really wonderful experience for most of our clients. And so the fact that we're able to do this every other week, we are so lucky. We couldn't do it without our volunteers and our spiritual leaders. But it is one of the things that I think makes our program so special. Part of that, you know, drumming, native arts and crafts, that is a really big part of our program here. We do have, you know, some programs are like, they have groups scheduled back to back every hour of the day. We keep our clients a little bit differently. So we make sure that they are learning new crafts, right? They're learning beading, they're learning how to make dream catchers, things like that, to keep them busy. But it's not the same structure, right? Where it's like you're doing chores and you're doing this group and then you're doing that group and then you have to, you know, do this individual assignment. It's a little bit of a slower pace here, I would say. And part of that I recognize is not for everyone. Some people need the hour by hour, you're scheduled from this room to this room. But for our clients who maybe are ready for a more healing experience, who have maybe had some like systemic trauma or trauma being institutionalized, things like that, I think that this program is like really, you know, no other you can find in LA County for Medi-Cal clients. Another part of that is gardening. We have a really wonderful garden. I'm going to show you photos in a little bit. And like I mentioned, our spiritual guidance. We do have a team of elders who come in and help lead us in ceremony, and just offer individual guidance to clients. So they're able to reconnect to their roots, or they're able to identify things that resonate with them and incorporate that into their treatment plan. Client eligibility. So I will always prioritize our tribal folks, our folks with any tribal affiliation, any Native heritage, but it's not required. So so that means, you know, people who are native to Mexico or native to wherever, right? We are able to prioritize those people and get them into treatment sometimes quicker. We do, like many other places, require 72 hours free of substances. I understand this can be a barrier, but just due to the withdrawal potential, it is just a legal, you know, it's a liability issue. So what happens often is people come in for their intake appointment and they, you know, test positive for alcohol or whatever. What we will do is we will link them to detox the best that we can. It's not always available, right? We can call everyone, it's not always available. And we will hold their beds for them, right? We're not going to just say, oh, that's it, you missed your shot. We're going to try our very best to get them connected somewhere or get them medically cleared so that we can make sure that they're going to be safe to admit into our program.
And that actually happened yesterday, right?
It happens almost every day. Yes, it did happen. We took 2 people to detox yesterday. And we have, we're under the umbrella of BHS, and BHS has some of the detox sites that you probably already know, Redgate, ARC, and MLK. We work really closely with MLK. They help us out a lot in these situations. So we do utilize our network when in these instances. We want to be able to bring our clients back. We're not, you know, I had a client the other day come in and he was talking to his girlfriend on the phone. He's like, they're trying to get rid of me. And it was so funny because, you know, now he's back. He came back from detox. And I was like, last week you said I was trying to get rid of you. And now here you are sitting on my couch, huh? But so we'll always try to do that. We do lose some clients in the process, but you know, that's their choice. Safety first. We can't manage detox here. We also require that clients are able to independently manage their any medical and mental health issues. So with chronic health and things like that, basically they need to know when when it's time for their medication, and they need to be willing to come and take it. We are not able to force people to take any medications, but if they do have medication that's important to their health or recovery, we're gonna support them in doing what they need to do. Now, we do get a lot of people who come in and initially mental health, not stable, but as long as the individual is going to be able to show up for med times and take their medication, that's okay. We're going to help get them connected to, behavioral health, urgent care, or whatever it might be. So I don't want this to be confused with like stability, right? It means it can be managed independently. And for some of the physical health issues, like we can't take open wounds, anything that has contagious potential, right? So those people we also usually send to get medical clearance. One of the other ones that is just a really big, sorry, we can't, any charges for arson or sex offenses. We are not able to have those folks here. But really any other legal issues, we do not discriminate. We see all kinds of folks. In terms of payment, so we are contracted with LA County Medi-Cal. Most of our clients do have Medi-Cal. People who are uninsured and Medi-Cal eligible, we are able to help get them applied for Medi-Cal, get that going. We also take tribal pay and private pay. So we get a lot of folks from out of state who are coming from their reservation or whatever it may be. And a lot of times their tribe is willing to pay for them to come to treatment. So for those tribes that can't afford that, we usually allow them to pay and then help them get connected to Medi-Cal and whatnot. But so there is that option for individuals to do private pay as well. When it comes to intercounty transfers, this sometimes is if I have like 4 intercounty transfers already going, I may say I can't handle another. And we do ask that people get those started for us before they send them over, right? So just helping the client, fill out that form on Cal Benefits and update their address to our address so that we can get the intercounty transfer started. Because a lot of times, what happens is the client leaves before we're able to do it. And if I have too many going at once, we have a really small team. There's like 20 of us, maybe less than 20 of us. And we're just a really small program. So we can't quite handle having too many of those that require a lot of follow-up. Just because we all do groups and have all the other things. So let's see, just some important things about the program. We provide treatment in 30-day increments. We recommend 90 days, but allow longer when it's clinically indicated. So our more acute clients, homeless, more severe mental health, but we don't complete anyone sooner than 30 days. Our capacity right now is about 32 clients. This is actually a large increase for us. So it used to be more in the like 26 range within the past couple of months. So we are kind of expanding, but we're also limited. We have literally 36 beds. So we don't have the staff for that yet, but working on it. Same with other levels of care. We do not have any RBH. We do not have any detox. We do not have any outpatient services. But because of that, we have really great relationships with outside agencies who help get our clients to the next level of care. So a lot of our clients go to Fred Brown for RBH. And that's kind of a really common step-down plan for us here. We refer out for mental health, primary care, dental, all of those things, optometry, whatever it is. Part of that, I mean, we don't have any medical providers here. And the good thing about that is that folks are able to keep their providers that they're already linked with. We do not, require them to re-enroll under our providers or things like that. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to just show off the garden a little bit. This is the garden in various stages. You can, my favorite thing is they'll come in from the garden with literal trash bags full of giant squash. And we just have like, it just looks like a little fall table all the time with just squash everywhere, right? There's just these beautiful squash sitting everywhere. So that's really special. The clients love being out in the garden. Even when it was like 100 degrees the other day, they were still out there. They're like, we need to make sure our plants are good. We can't let them get too hot. We can't let them dry out. So I don't know. It's really wonderful to see the clients working in the garden. And as we all know that just being in the dirt and keeping busy and getting the the nutrients from the earth is just so powerful. And then they're eating it. They're eating their squash, and these are people who are maybe not eating fresh veggies before. So it's really wonderful to watch it go from seed to lunch. Let's see. So that was kind of all I had. I want to offer my personal information to everyone here. Not my personal, but my direct work cell phone. I am the one who does all the intake stuff. So if you're looking for a bed, I am the one you would call. The best way to reach me is to call and either leave a message or send me a text. If I don't answer, please feel free to text me. I will get back to you much quicker that way, because then I can look at my phone and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I need to walk away. Because otherwise I'm busy all the time. And yeah, I also, folks who are local, we'd love to have you over during one of our sweat lodges to just take a tour and kind of see what it looks like. I think people kind of tend to fall in love with our facility when they see it. And you'll get to see what like a special place it is. And you'll kind of get an eye for like what clients would benefit from being here and what clients maybe would need more structure or things like that. So I really do like to invite anyone who wants to come for a tour. But I also want to take any questions. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions.
If it's okay, I want to share something and also just say thank you, Claire, because you're so responsive on Recover Well, and I really appreciate when you jump right in there and chat with folks, and we're grateful every time we can book a patient with American Indian Changing Spirits. It's such a great program. So I want to just share this story. So Recover Well is a little more than 2 years old now, and we're starting to get, or we've been getting calls from patients who we helped early when we first launched, to tell us their success stories. And I haven't had a chance to sort of compile those together and share them with all of you. But all of us here on the call are part of that success and part of those folks finding their joy. And one of my earliest patients that I worked with, I was working with him and his mom really closely. They were really pretty desperate when I started talking to them, and this patient had gone through a lot of programs and kind of had been shifted through the BHS community and some of the other great Medi-Cal providers, and they just had not really settled in and found their program. And this person did 90 days at American Indian Changing Spirits. And to the credit of their amazing case management team, like really hands down, one of the best. This person was then given access to all the follow along services. And as I was checking in with him and his mom over that year, he was doing so well, like just remarkably well. And he credits American Indian Changing Spirits to that. I know that he goes regularly to the sweat lodges. I hear from him regularly. And he really credits the uniqueness of this program, not just the, shuffling from, group to group, talking about, the different lessons that might come with a very standard program. this program really tied him into the earth, and like, you know, the things that that Claire was sharing about the garden and the sweat lodges. This person just felt a real connection to his spirit, and I think that's phenomenal, and it really fundamentally changed his life. And so, huge success story. I mean, for me, like, you can't really say success is, oh, they were clean for X amount of days or this amount of time. I know that's the metrics that they use, but for me, it's like when I hear joy in a person's voice, when I hear joy that they found their sobriety and that they were able to get their life on track. And that's what I hear from this person and his mom, who worried daily about her son dying. So this is so I love this program. I love what they do. This is not the only success story that I have from this, but I don't want to dominate the time, but this is an amazing program. So if American Indian Changing Spirits pops up for your patient, apply. This is a great program. And if it's not for that patient, then the case management team will help them. They really care about what they're doing. So I highly encourage you to look for this program on your Match Results page.
Thank you so much. And just to speak to the like Recover Well platform, where I see the most success, you're saying I'm responsive. I'm so terrible at keeping up with it. I see the most success when providers text me and they're like, hey, I just sent you someone on Recover Well. So please, you are more than welcome to be that person. It's very helpful.
I do it too. And then we have 3 social workers on our team. So we're like, we're kind of on the back end going, okay, who's not responding? They're probably busy. So we're also reaching out and sending out texts. And what I'm starting to see collectively is that we're all in this sort of like addiction treatment marketplace, advocating for patients together as a community. And like I said, it's nice when I see, like, even I think it was yesterday or the day before, Claire reached out and said, you know, we transferred this patient to MLK. They weren't, you know, all the way through their withdrawal symptoms, but we're holding a bed for them. I love that. But then also, a lot of the providers here, including Claire, they're able to reach back out and say, I know they have a bed over here. And then we shift our focus and attention on that program, and we start reaching out to them. So it's, you know, when you're applying to these programs, they take it seriously. I know Claire is like, okay, what can we do for this human being who's coming through this platform? And just like puts a real name and story to these folks, because they're able to see what's going on with the patient, and we all start really wanting to help them and advocate for them and cheer for them. So who has questions about the program? Alexa Janisi, sorry.
No worries. Hi Claire, thank you so much for that. I think someone else asked this in the chat, but are you guys MAT friendly, meaning like Suboxone, methadone, those kinds of medications?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, no, we and that's one of the benefits of us being linked with BHS. They have a really responsive MAT services program. So if folks are looking to get connected, we can get them connected usually within a week. But you know, there's always emergency services and getting them to the hospital to get refills or whatnot.
Great, thank you so much.
Good question. Dana has a question as well.
Thank you, Claire. And it sounds like just an absolutely wonderful program that you have. I apologize that I got in here a little bit late. And one of the things that you said that I'm questioning, and I bet that you already covered it, but you were talking about structure versus your program, maybe not. Could you just kind of explain that a little bit to me? Because I did get here a little late and feel like I missed out on that.
Sure. Yeah, I was just talking about how we try to have a balance between the structural stuff that's, you know, so strongly associated with substance use treatment, right? And then some of the more holistic approaches and more culturally relevant things. So, you know, we meet all of the requirements to build a SAPC, and we do all of the same things that all of the other programs do, but it's not our only focus. We supplement it with the cultural things like sweat lodges, talking circles, beading circles, excuse me, a lot of hands-on stuff, gardening, things like that, because for us, it's not just about treatment, it's about healing, and it's about the things that we aren't able to bill for as well, right? You know, those things are important and make a big difference in people being invested in their sobriety. So that was what I was speaking about. I don't know if you have any more specific questions.
No, it sounds absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. I saw a question in here out of County Medi-Cal, native from Northern California. I would want to talk more specifically to see if we could do that. There, like I was kind of alluding to, there are times when I have more capacity to manage an intercounty transfer and kind of monitor it and keep checking up on it. And then there are other times when I have like a ton of them that I'm monitoring, and to take on one more at that time, like kind of does a disservice to my clients that I have to take time away from. So that would kind of be on a case-by-case basis, but I would want to try to make it work. So please feel free to reach out to me directly and I can answer more questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Claire. That was me. That was me. We're up here in Humboldt in the beautiful redwoods where Dana is from too. But we usually send them over to Friendship House in San Francisco. So it's good to know that you guys are also possible potential placement as well. Other than that, do you guys do Red Road meetings there?
We don't have specific. We have some staff who are well-rounded trained, but we don't have any specific groups that are just, you know, the Red Road. We have, you know, the literature and signage and stuff around,
Right.
but our facility itself is not like Wellbriety accredited yet.
Right. Just because it looks like even your balance of structure and culture is very much Red Road Wellbriety teachings. So you know, so in a way, you guys are doing it.
Yes, we just aren't able to put the label on it.
Yeah.
One day I'd love to get there.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, let me know about that client. We typically will just have the service provider that they're already working with initiate the intercounty transfer. And once I can get some sort of proof of that documentation, then usually I'm able to go through with admitting them.
And we might also have to deal with their probation officer, you know, if we have to do that, you know, and some probation officer don't like them going out of county, but in some cases they do. So like you said, it's case by case basis as well,
Yeah.
individual. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else have questions?
I have one question.
Okay.
Claire, thank you, first of all, for all the help you do with our applications that we submit through the RecoverWell platform. Appreciate your efforts. Question is this: if I have a client that is first time experience with any treatment program, who is not religious, and they make it well known they're not religious, they don't mention the word spiritual, just to accept them where they're at, and they say they're not religious, so don't put me in a program that's going to send me to church and all this stuff. Would you say that your program would be a good fit for that type of patient?
It most likely, yes. I have seen clients who are like, I just can't do AA meetings because the whole higher power thing is so annoying, but they love it here. I'm sure some of our staff still use the term higher power. The more native thing to say is creator, right? And creator doesn't have that same feeling of the authority that's associated with a lot of religion. So just even that language shift might be beneficial. but I mean, I don't know, someone might have a problem with anywhere, just, you know, but I have seen great success in clients who had that previous issue with other treatment places and really wanted to get involved in this community.
Yeah, that's a
Right.
good point, Lawrence. I hear that a lot from patients. My dad used to use that as his to sort of make it tougher for us to get him placed in a program. He would say things like, "Oh, the last time I was there, they tried to baptize me," or "Last time I went to that program, you know, it was all about, you know, higher power." But I think what's been really nice is that we're starting to see like a good mix of different uh methodologies towards getting to that peaceful place for people. So I think it's important to be able to say to clients what, or at least give clients an idea of what they're getting into when they're going to a program, and to make it so that it feels like an option. Like, hey, this program isn't necessarily like a Christian program or a Jewish program, Jewish faith program, or Muslim faith program. This is a program that is identifies with Native culture and Native spirituality. So I guess one thing we might consider doing, all of us together in this community, is saying like, how do we best represent that in like a quick little elevator pitch? Like, how would you describe this, Claire, to someone who was maybe afraid, like, am I going to be indoctrinated into some type of belief system? And that can be scary for people.
Yeah, I usually tell people, you know, we're a native-based program. Tribal affiliation is not required to enroll, but we do encourage all of our participants, or all of our clients, to participate in all of the cultural offerings we have. It's more of a holistic approach to healing, and isn't quite as much about like treatment and program and time, and you know, it's about the whole person. And you know, the Native American culture is so rich, and there are so many practices that help connect you to the earth. And for someone who maybe has spent a lot of time trying to get out of their body, there's a lot of like really nice, fun, pleasant ways to get back into your body that we really practice every day here.
You know, if I may, one of the things that I would ask a client is, what have you not tried? And maybe you could try this, and especially we will contrast the disease model, and you know, and the structure model, and maybe the biopsychosocial spiritual components of it, you know, in their terms, to say maybe we can try this, you know. And so I felt like it is more digestible for them, if I put it that way. So it's not too you know, like too pressured, but there's an option that they can look into, you know. And they say, oh yeah, in recovery you need, you know, it's mind, body, soul, and spirit. But if you need medication, you know, you also need medication, you know. And so those four aspects of recovery, and a lot of times it's not threatening that way. And then I felt like they're more open to try it again, you know. So
Oh, Archie, that gave me chills for you to say that you ask someone, what have you not tried? I love that. That's amazing. I think that's a good question. I'm gonna start asking that myself. What have you not tried yet? And that's amazing. I love that.
I have a
And
question.
maybe I wonder, like, is it okay to ask folks, like, what have you tried that hasn't worked, and why do you think that hasn't worked? I mean, I don't know that we all have time to ask those questions, but definitely a valuable question. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. I cut somebody off.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I feel like your program it taps into their inner spirit. And that's a good thing, because a lot of times our clients don't feel that they have it in them to do it. And I try to tell them that you do. You have it in you. It's built in. So kudos is for giving them the opportunity to tap into that inner spirit that they have. But my question is, when an individual is working with your organization, and I heard you mention unhoused, I'm a housing provider. How do you transition them to housing?
So typically our unhoused folks, we're connecting them to RBH, Recovery Bridge Housing.
Mhm.
Because if we spend too much time looking into housing while they're here, it kind of throws off the like steps of stepping down, right? Because we know a lot of people going from unhoused to residential treatment to, like, if we were to connect them to housing, they'd lose a lot of their connections to treatment. So we typically are folks who are going to need those like really great services. We're stepping down to Fred Brown in San Pedro. And Fred Brown does an excellent job of case management, and they're getting folks connected to everything they need. And so we feel confident in handing them off to those providers and making sure that they're getting connected to housing. Now, while they're here, they're getting a lot of their stuff, you know, their benefits they're getting in order, right? We have someone who comes in from MHALA and helps them sign up for, you know, just to kind of get on the list with HUD, right? So they get linked to, they're getting, you know, into the system if they're not already. But we also, at this vulnerable place in recovery, we don't want them to focus on housing, because that can be a big trigger. That can be a big, oh, I have to leave treatment because there's housing available for me right now. But so those folks, we're making sure we're linking with RBH that we really trust.
Thank you.
Okay, we had a great group today. This is the biggest audience we've had. So thank you everybody who came in. I know a lot of people had to jump off. We went over on the time today, but this was fantastic and the questions are good, and I'm loving how these conversations are shaping up, and I'm just so grateful to all of you that we can have these conversations in the way of making sure that all these people that we are working with every day are getting options, like real options. And this is such an awesome program. So, and I'm thrilled that I get to work with you guys every day over there. Claire, you're wonderful. This is a great presentation. I'm gonna do the raffle here, and because people had to drop off because we went over, I'm gonna choose the two names, and then I'll reach out to them because I think everybody showed up, and this was great. How do I? Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. And I'm gonna jump in here to the wheel of names, and I'll track these folks down. Okay, how do I do this again? Let's see. I think I do this. Yeah, okay. All right, Vanessa. All right, let me write that down, Vanessa. All right, next person. All right, Sylvia, nice. All right, folks, thank you so much for your time today. I'm so grateful. And I love hearing from all of you. Feel free to reach out to me. I hope everybody took down Claire's information. And thank you for using Recover Well. I'm so grateful to all of you. And you know how to reach me, 818-522-3654. Text me if you need anything at all. I'm always happy to jump on a call as soon as I can.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you,
beautiful
Amy. Thank you, Claire. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.